Hey everyone, today I will be showing you a guide for Veteran White Gold Tower. Please stay tuned for some content details. Also, there was a Discord channel created. Go ahead and join my community. I'll have the link below in the details. If you like the content, please subscribe to my channel. I also do giveaways twice a week. You can also participate in those. Those are for PC NA platform players. Alright, thanks everybody, and enjoy. Here we go. Fingers crossed for some good DPS. Always do a food check before starting a dungeon. Make sure everybody has their drinks, their food. And check these backpacks. Sometimes they get blue and purple patterns. Yeah, we might have an alright group. So for the trash mobs, the Exifkin Lacerator is the healer here, so we'll just be sure to bash the heals, just to make the DPS go a little bit faster. Alright, we'll get started. There's the heal, interrupted. Yeah, DPS seems to be okay. And if you go up this way and you sneak, you can avoid a lot of trash mobs. And if you have pets out, make sure the pets are on passive because the pet will aggro also. And the Iron Swathered Glutton, he's just making sure that the tank keeps aggro and turns it away from the rest of the group. He's a pretty heavy hitter. I typically keep my shields on during this fight. And he does put some green circles on the ground for poison. Just want to make sure that it's avoided. It will kill DPS and healers. And here's the first boss. So some of the mechanics for this boss is the boss will select a random player and lock the player in these cages. So be sure that you have lockpicks or someone in your group can come and free you during that time. It's super important that if a healer or tank does get locked up, they get out quickly so they can continue aggro or healing for the group as needed. When you aggro the boss, in about 2 to 3 seconds, the boss will heavy attack towards the DPS. DPS, it's really important to avoid that as much as you can. It will kill you rather quickly if you're standing in the way. Alright, and so in this case, the healer here is now locked. So she is trying to get out of the cage. I will help and now the boss is dead. If you go up the stairs, there's a chest spawn here. It's actually here this time. That's one of the spawn locations for one of the chests in the dungeon. So this dungeon has some good gear for tank and healer. For tank, you use Imperium, and for healer, it is Spell Power Cure. And as a tank, I like to group up the trash mobs as much as I can, as tight as I can, so that the DPS can AoE them down rather quickly. And the bulwark adds, they do heavy attacks and could kill a DPS or healer if caught. So during this entire dungeon, there will be phases where one person needs to kill these portals. If they don't get killed, they will continue to spawn ads. So someone will get selected and the screen will turn kind of grayish. There's some backpacks in this location. I usually check those. I have found a gold Imperium motif book in one of those. So this group pull here has both a healer that you need to interrupt, and then also it has a bulwark where you want to watch out for the heavy attack. The healer also puts out this radius that heals anything inside of it, so sometimes I'll pull the mobs out of it so that DPS can still do damage to them. And these nooks here on the right side, when you're walking through it, there could be chest spawn locations there also. As well as heavy sacks too. The crematorial guards, you want to make sure you keep them taunted and faced away from the DPS and healer. They do a fire attack that could wipe the group rather easily. And here's the second boss. This one will be 3, so you'll have a sword and shield, you'll have a 2-hander, or I think it's 2 1-handers, and then you'll have a healer. So first you'll kill Mycella Carlinus, second you'll kill Porteus, and third you'll kill Otho. As a tank, I'll make sure I want to keep DP or a taunt on all 3 of them, as well as make sure that when the healer is healing that I interrupt it. Othra will spawn fire like she's doing now. Just make sure you avoid that as best you can. There's the heal. I'll interrupt that. Keep the aggro on me. I'll go ahead and group these 2 up. I'll use my warhorn. There's fire. You want to avoid that. Two down and last one. And that was the second boss. And during this stage, I'll send out some twilights. You want to make sure that the tank taunts them. There's more portals here, so you want to be sure that the person selected to kill the portals kills the portals. If not, it'll spawn more ads that we would have to kill. And so this phase looks like I have to kill the portals now, so that you see how it's turned grayish color. You just have to go to the portals and you have to attack them to prevent them from spawning additional mobs. Another ceremonial guard, just keep it faced away. Usually during the fire phase I keep my shield up to prevent more damage, so it's easier for the healer. And if you don't kill them rather quickly, your taunt might go, you might lose your taunt, and then it could quickly turn and breathe fire on the rest of the group. So we'll make sure you keep it, the tank keeps it taunted. And here we'll summon some portals, just DPS or healer or tank, whoever is chosen. Make sure that they get them down rather quickly, or we'll get overwhelmed with ads. Oh, you see there I lost aggro on it. It turned. I picked up aggro quickly, but it could have wiped the group. The Scion of Wrath, he's a pretty hard hitter. Just make sure that you interrupt his attack and avoid the falling fire. Typically for this one as a tank, I would continue to keep my shields up because he hits real hard. Just keep aggro on myself. Alright, so now we're at the third boss. This boss is pretty difficult. The Planar Inhibitor. So for this boss, it'll choose 2 people to go into phase to kill portals. So it is the job for one of those 2 to go and clear out those portals. If it's a healer or a tank, it is very difficult for them to do the portals during that phase. The pin in there in the middle is more of a taunt, so whoever interacts and activates that pin in the Planar Inhibitor attacks that person. And if, just like before, if you don't kill the portals fast enough, it'll overwhelm you with ads. And the longer you hold on to the pin-in, the more damage you will take. So some groups will bounce back and forth the pin-in so that it doesn't overwhelm one person with all of the damage. And the boss will also, so you saw that there was fire on the bottom of the boss's feet. If the fire is orange, then the tank can keep it in one place and attack the boss. If the fire is blue, it's pretty much a one-shot kill. So at that point you would want to toggle the pin-in between the players until the blue phase is over with. When you do grab the pin-in to kite the boss around during that phase, you don't want the boss to go through any of your DPS or healers. That will one-shot your group and you will die an excessive amount of times by doing that. And what we did during that fight is that we had some pretty good DPS in this group, so it was a burn phase what we did, so we kind of ignored the portals and it was pretty much a DPS race at that point to just get the boss down as quickly as we can. If you don't have the DPS to do that, you might have to do the mechanics for it and kill the portals so you don't get overwhelmed with ads, as well as juggle the pin-in around between players. Alright, we're coming up to the last boss here. And the last boss for Untitled Tower is Molag Tenner. So for this boss here, there's a couple different phases. When the ads respond here, the lightning aspects, so you want to kill the lightning aspects. Once you kill them, you'll see a red ring in the ground. You want to stay out of that ring or it will kill you in one shot. When the boss, you want to make sure that the tank has the boss faced away from the group. And there's lightning that spawns in circular rotation. On normal, it'll go slow. On veteran, it'll go a little bit faster. You want to avoid that. Once the boss gets to about 75%, it'll go to the middle, spawn ads. You want to kill the ads as quickly as you can. The boss will then put lightning out. You want to weave through the lightning or shield through the lightning. Avoid getting hit by it. You will kill the group. And also, as you can see, that around the whole entire arena here, there is fire. If you go outside the boundaries, you will burn and die. The boss will do a knockback just like that. Just avoid the red cone. If it is facing towards DPS or healer, it will knock them back and could hit them into the fire around the ring because it pushes you back. The boss has now gone to the middle. The boss will, before putting out the lightning, will lift up in the air, come down, and knock everybody back. Just make sure that you're away from the wall and out of any red circles. And once the boss gets down to about 10% life, the boss will spawn lightning circulars again that go around in 2 different directions. So it makes it a lot more difficult once the boss gets down to about 10% health. And we have completed White Gold Tower Veteran. White Gold Tower Veteran will get you a monster set. You will get the Molag Tenner helmet. Alright everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me in a White Gold Tower Veteran run. If you enjoyed the content, feel free to subscribe to the channel. I'll come out with some more content for some more dungeons and playstyles and guides. Alright everybody, have a good rest of the day.